From the left coast, it's a show for the streets, strictly for the culture, strictly for our people. YouTube the views, log on and stream. Some news you can use with your host, Khrissy B. Get familiar, yeah. Get familiar. Get familiar. Get familiar. You gotta get familiar, yeah.
All right, you guys, another episode of Get Familiar. I am your host, your creator, your founder, Khrissy. Y'all call me Khrissy B. You know, I want to shout you guys out again for tapping in with me. You guys are some loyal folks. Thank you for that. I appreciate your loyalty. Enough about me. I have an amazing guest. Amazing. Somebody that I had been watching. We've been following each other on. We've been social media buddies for such a long time.
Literally.
It's crazy because it's funny how we're going to talk about that too. It's just funny how people are can grow relationships.
Yes.
Or some sort of they can be acquaintances and become friends through social media, through this app.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's how we've been in touch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
in a real way too.
Now I'm going to get in your business today. So today's the day to finally get in your business. Yes, because I've been watching you and I'm low-key like, I admire you. I've been admiring you from afar. So I'm like, it's time. I even hit Boomer. I'm like, can you get her on the line for me? I hit Boomer. He'll tell you. I hit Boomer. I was like, she's responding a little slow, so
I know.
Can you? It's okay. I'm patient, but I didn't want to miss the boat. And I feel like
there we are.
I'm doing this like sooner than later.
Yes, ma'am.
So we are here. I am sitting with Miss Wyann. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I don't even know where to start. We have so much to talk about, and so much that I want to talk about with you.
Absolutely.
But let's get into your back. Let's start with your background. Who you are. Yeah. You are a singer, you are a songwriter. You come from, you wrote this in your bio. You said, you come from a soul royalty family.
Yeah.
I want you to tell the people,
Yeah.
tell the people who you are, who your family is, and where you come from.
My name is Wyann Vaughn, and I come straight out of Glendale, California. It's not as tough as I'm supposed to sound.
We don't have many folks come out of Glendale, but she's one of them.
Yeah, and Dre told me not to say that no more, but sorry, sir.
It's
but
okay. We embrace you. We embrace you.
Most easily and recognizably, my mom is from a 70s soul group called The Emotions. They're best known for "You Got the Best of My Love." Whoa, whoa. You understand? So they got that going on. She, on the road, met my dad, who was playing for the Brothers Johnson at the time. The Brothers Johnson is "Strawberry Letter." So that's and that stomp song. But
so much history.
He was like big on there playing keys for them.
Is that the 70s?
That's the 70s. Yes, exactly. And it was a great era.
Okay, so I'm tapped in a little bit.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And when mom and dad got together, they started writing for acts, but most notably their song with "Let's Groove Tonight" with Earth, Wind & Fire is probably the most notable stuff that they've done. But there's several songs for Earth, Wind. The first thing they ever put their pens to together went on Gladys Knight.
What the hell?
I think I just lied. Patti LaBelle. You know how to get those two because they did the verses. That's why they did a verses
legendary.
Together. But yeah, no, straight up, and that's true. But not only them, Aretha. Like it's when they put their pens together, their talents together, they're unstoppable. So they, got to having a lot of love and had all these kids.
How many of you are there?
It's 5 of us.
5 girls?
5. We have the boys at the bookend. My oldest brother is in heaven. Okay. So we have Wayne. Here go the whole thing.
Okay.
Wayne, Wanda, Wayne, Wendy, Wyann, Whitney, Warren.
All W's.
All W's, all 5 letters. All girls' middle names is Louise. All boys' middle names is Lee.
You guys all have the same middle name?
All of us.
They were not playing.
They weren't. And it's not even a beautiful. I mean, mom has a great middle name.
What's your mom's middle name?
Louise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not Lynn, not Layla, not Lilac.
I wonder
Wyann Louise.
Why?
Louise. Sorry.
So much emphasis
I'm back.
on it.
No, it's okay.
I'm curious, did she explain to you guys why she gave you all the same middle name?
All dad. My dad.
Oh, that was your dad.
All of this. This is what happens when a creative gets the opportunity to name things. That's how I feel.
Like, dad was like, nah.
That's how I feel
Y'all
personally.
really stuck together. Period. Same middle name.
He said,
all W's, 5 letters.
If the Partridge Family can do it, no. But no, I feel like he just like decided he wanted a little band of merry men.
And are all of you talented? How many?
All of us.
All of you. So you guys all naturally just took to growing up in this music house. How was that?
It was more. It was loud.
It
was loud. Here, and I say that because I when I went to graduate school, I have a master's degree in social work, right? So I'm a MSW holder, Master of Social Work.
Talk about it, sis.
And when I did my first paper, I was at my house in LA. It was bone quiet. I was working on this amazing topic, and I started and stopped, and I started and stopped, and I started and stopped, and I says, it's deafeningly quiet. Like it's unnaturally quiet for me. Pick up all my stuff. I go to our house in Glendale where we were having a rehearsal. They were just letting me sit out of the rehearsal because I had a paper due. I have this video on Facebook if you don't believe me, by the way. 2009, fall semester. I go to the Glendale house, and in the midst of fire, and it's weird. People are singing on we didn't have all mics for everyone. So one of our amazing singers, shouts out to, his birthday is 12/13. Oh, I'm so sorry. I see you in my head. I know you.
But don't know your name, but she's gonna figure it out. It's coming.
I know who you are. I can't believe it. I'm looking at his face. And he's singing in a megaphone. Fire, and the megaphone has a bad thing, and it twists and it goes. So
you are really good with the sounds.
Yeah,
that's your vocal ability.
I'm
like all the sound effects are on point. Okay.
It's really true. And so, but in that setting, I did the first 5 paragraphs of it just flowed. The whole paper that I was doing for something that had nothing to do with music. The entire paper flowed. It's like, I don't know. So how is it growing up in a household where there's a lot of music? You get accustomed to different things. I've been I'm an edutainer. I've been an educator since I was 18. I'm 39 now. Since I've been one, I can take a lot of noise in a classroom where other instructors would be like, excuse me.
Exactly.
Can you corral them in? I'm like, it's not loud to me.
Yeah.
This is music.
It's normal.
This is completely normal.
It's
what are you
normal.
talking about? Sort of a thing. So I just noticed those types of differences where I can see like, I can take a lot of what other people might call distraction. It feels like a chorus to me. You know, I'm the middle of the 5 children. I'm third of 5. I'm a true middle. You know what I'm saying? So I'm used to having a bunch of folks around me. I'm a 100% extrovert. Any personality test I've ever taken.
What sign are you?
Aries. Aries. April 13.
I love you guys.
Yeah. What are you?
Capricorn.
So you just passed.
I did.
What are you?
January 14th.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
Thank you. I'll still take it. Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Khrissy, Capricorn B. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my God, I'm posting that like I'm posting that tonight, okay? Send me this shit ASAP, Marvin. Oh, that was beautiful.
Yes, that's like a thing I have to. If I know it's your birthday, man.
My daughter's clapping in the back, Tori.
I'm laughing. Thank you, Tori.
That was amazing.
Yes.
Ooh, can't come off that. Okay. What were we talking about again? We're like, where were we?
No, loads and loads of fun, all of this positive energy. This is nothing but the Vaughns. And everything we do comes from this real organic music, creative, really out of the box, and not really out of the box to us. I had to be around more folks to know how out of the box our upbringing, our positive outlook. Like when you're a social worker, one of the things they tell you to practice your therapy with is unconditional positive regard. And it was really easy for me to buy into that because I'm like, that's life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that don't get me wrong, even today, literally right now while we're taping, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yes,
There's a lot going on.
Yes, it is.
And at the end of it all, I told the homies, they was like, have you seen? I said, no. They're like, why? You got to be tuned in to all this stuff that's going on. I said, this is me, just in case y'all don't know. If I were on the Titanic and I understood that the whole boat, it was a wrap for everyone, I'm on the dance floor. Fuck out of here. I'm on the dance floor. I'm sitting in with the band.
I'm embracing my time that I have.
Period.
I'm not about to be sitting over there in the corner crying.
No. If you're taking my body, you're not gonna take my spirit first. You can't break my spirit and take my body. That's a choice. I'm not choosing that way.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%. I have to take social media breaks where I'm exposed to too much.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's not that I don't want to be aware and in tune to what's going on. It's that I can't handle that sometimes. I'm not going to allow that to damper my mood.
That part.
Or how I'm feeling that day.
That part.
Because there's a lot of shit that we have access to.
Yes.
And even there was a video that was circulating with, I think it was a clip of when the bombs were going off. It sounded like a kid was crying in the back.
No. Yeah, no. I can't do that.
I couldn't even.
No.
As a mother.
No. Yeah, and see,
it just tapped into a totally different, I was like, there's no way.
There's no way.
If I was in the room with my kid, we're enjoying breakfast or whatever's going on, and some shit just flies through the window, my child is screaming or crying.
Yes, ma'am.
Like hysterically, how that would feel. And I'm looking outside and there's chaos going on outside.
Yes, ma'am.
I just turn that shit off.
Yes, you have to.
It's not that I don't want to know about what's going on in the world, but I can't take that on.
Right.
I can't take that on.
Right.
Spiritually, emotionally, physically, I just can't take that on. So I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm about to be on the dance floor with you.
Yeah. Butterfly.
I'm right
Tootsie Roll.
I'm right there with you.
I'm from the 90s.
Can you give us, I know you got a long, extensive resume. I feel like you do. I know you do. You do. Give us 5 of songs that I would say you're probably most proud of. And give me one that you probably didn't think would be a hit, maybe, or one that you were like, I'm not sure, but you took that chance on this particular record.
Okay.
So give me one of those.
Okay. I like one of the, and that'll be one of the 5. That'll be the 5th one.
Yeah,
something like that. Okay, look, I was a math instructor, so I'm big on numbers. Right. So that's why I'm like, ooh, count.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that I was a part of was, and it's kind of the genesis to me being in a younger, like really my age and younger category of people understanding who I am, is 3-Chord Fold. 2013, I think it was August 13th, 2013 that it actually came out. And that's Terrace Martin's album. And he allowed me to do poetry in between the songs to kind of progress the album all the way down. And also I'm featured on some of the songs too and everything. So that's the first thing that I think of. The second thing I think of, I'm not intending to be chronological, but let's just do it anyways.
Yeah.
December 2013, at the end of that year, Terrace calls me in and we're working on YG's album. YG, so in the beginning of the album, that's actually
you have so much range.
Yeah.
From Terrace now to YG.
Yeah, big time. Right? Okay. Jazz. So the jazz, R&B, fusion of hip hop sort of a thing. Then Rance, Mustard, and Terrace and me were in there, and YG introduced himself to me as Keenan. He didn't even say I'm YG, he said I'm Keenan. And I was like, oh, it's so lovely to meet you. And I think the first thing we were working on is the let any girl that play how. So I was just doing a lot of and what I get used for a lot, like you said, the sonic of my voice, they use my voice as a party favor. Terrace calls me his onstage MPC. Okay. So he samples. I can do samples, imitations with that and everything. And just sonically, it's like a filler of texture that I'll put on behind. So T-Fly is the one singing that man and body beat the pussy up like me. But the fullness and the I must have stacked. Girl, I don't know how many stacks I did in the back of that, but they tuck me and they put me in parts of your speakers that you don't recognize there would have been without me. Emptiness. Oh, you see what I'm saying? So
it's
they
like the
use my
completion
texture
of the record.
It's like okay, we do makeup.
Yeah.
Imagine us putting on all this makeup and never blending.
I get it.
we'd still
100%.
have the colors on.
Yeah.
It would still be a vibe,
Yeah.
but it would be like, oh, there go your whole line. That's your whole, oh,
Yep.
okay, you ain't going.
I get it.
I
yeah.
get you. So that's how the boys generally use me. So YG's first album, like I said, that was his mom in the beginning, but during the Sorry Mama with Ty Dolla $ign, his mom sounding in the back of that was me. So I
gotta go back and listen now.
Yeah. I don't know which number of it is, but it's YG and featuring Ty Dolla $ign.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, and he has the same birthday as me. I just learned. Ty Dolla $ign, I don't know you, but your dad knows me and my dad. So
Y'all
I'll
connected.
see you guys
Yeah.
soon. But yes, so that would be number 2. Number 3, again, I'm not meaning to go in chronological order, but might as well. Come 2015, the top of 2015, Terrace once again calls me in to work on To Pimp a Butterfly. And the first one that I worked on was You Ain't Got a Lot of Kick in My Nigga. So when you hear the ooh la la la, it's
I have to go back and listen to all of this now.
It's all West Coast shit. Like it's all like this beautiful West Coast thing. So I was on that song. At the end of Blacker the Berry, said, why did I weep and trade my martyrs in the street? If gangbanging make me kill a nigga blacker than me, hypocrite. And then the whole music changes. There's 3 voices singing. I was the first one laid, Layla Hathaway, and the most sonic that you hear was the second, and James Fauntleroy was the third voice that was sung on there. So, and then me and Terrace are at the end of the album when he's reciting his part of the poem to Pac, back to Pac and everything. And that whole process was unreal. And to make it even more unreal, here comes the middle of 2015 and Dre is having me work on Compton. So then Compton comes out and Deep Water was the one I think I'm most on. But yet again, I get used to fill up, and it's what I call in music intangibles. These are like the intangible things. Imagine if you have eggs, salt and pepper will pretty much do your eggs. Now, if you throw in some truffle salt and a little garlic pepper, whoa, now it's a meal. We've done something. Yep. We're big now. We're doing big girl things. So that's how I feel the boys end up using my voice. And the 5th thing that I feel like, wow, from, I thought of 2. One is on my album where, shouts out to Mark Knox, who's right here in Leimert Park, and DJ Quik supplied me with the 5th song, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the 5th or the 6th song on the track, rather, on the album, and The Emotions is featured. So Mom came in on a Quik song. Quik is a huge fan of my mom. Mom is a huge fan of Quik, and I didn't tell either one that they were working on the track together.
That's amazing.
And so when they both heard it, Quik cried. I'm sorry, David. I apologize. I know you probably don't want people, but he was like, this was one of the best surprises ever. So I was like, yay, I did good. You know what I'm saying? So I felt really happy about that.
And making the connection.
They are such huge fans of each other. If I tell you how they met, that would be hilarious. But that's one of the most unbelievable things, and like surreal feeling things, as well as the first thing that Dr. Dre ever vocal produced me on was a poem. And I got to be myself and be a poet while we were working on The Pharmacy with Dr. Dre from 2015 to 2018. But the first vocal production of anything he did on me, I said, Dre, and I felt scared as shit because I'm like, Dre probably don't fuck with no poetry sort of a thing. Like, I don't know, he's
Don't be surprised. I mean, he's a musical genius.
I freaking took that gumption and said, Dre, I wrote something for this right here. It was to I'm the real 6 guy, boy. Woo! It is hot up in the 6. Yeah, hot up in the 6. Drake. The Drake had just come out not too far before. So on the first episode of The Pharmacy, they had an opening and they were like, why? You want to freestyle on here? I was like, and it's Exhibit, it's DJ Pooh, it's Dr. Dre, it's who's right here? Battle Cat, J Rock. It's like all these people in the room, and I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I go in another room, and what I come out with is a poem. My heart was out to hear.
Yeah.
And the one thing I can say about Dr. Dre, anything I've ever brought him creatively, he's like, let's fuck with it. I'm like, really? Like, I can be? Okay. And so now you hear Dr. Dre like, all right, you're going to do the poem, but you got to be like, whore.
Yeah.
Like, what? I'm like, oh, well, okay. We're
scaring the shit out of everybody.
We're scaring everyone. All right. This is what we're doing, sort of a thing.
Yeah,
but
that's crazy.
I felt really proud about that though.
You have like the ideal situation.
It was
like
great.
honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, you've worked with every single West Coast legend.
I feel like
imagine if Pac was alive. Like he'll be all in the
that would
centerfold.
Be insane.
He'll be all in the centerfold of all of this.
That would be insane.
I always have that conversation with people. People be so weird about it. I'm like, imagine if Biggie and Pac were still alive.
I think it would be I think it would be a fun dynamic to watch because that live that I accidentally hung up on.
Right.
But talking about people's brands and how they evolve with time, you know, what that looks like. Do you have a brand that holds up and stands the test of time? Or do you, with every fad of music, with every new sound of music, does your stuff switch up and start to, okay, now I sound like I belong to the early 2000s. Oh wait, now the 2010s. Wait, no, you know what? Let's take it back to the 70s, but remake it. And it's like, nigga, who are you? What are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing? That becomes a therapist in me too, because I'm big on identity in my research. I do a lot of identity practice and stuff. So you know, who you are is who you choose to be every day and who you show up as, and show everyone that you are if it's coming from a genuine place. If you show everybody who you are and every day it's an act, two things happen. Either one, it's not consistent, or two, you're being this brand for everyone, and then you go home and you're miserable, or you cry, or you're depressed, or you lash out in different ways. Maybe you splurge if you have a lot of money. Maybe you hit a strip club. Maybe you hit the blunt. Maybe you, whatever it is, whatever you do, you know. But some people, when they're not on, especially in this industry, I mean, if you're not on, sometimes you escape because you don't have a lot of stock, a lot of equity put into who you are when the cameras are gone. When the lights are off and the curtain is down, you know what I'm saying? Like, who are you?
Who are you really?
Who are you really?
All the cameras and all the glitz and glam, when it's time to shut this shit down, who are you?
100%. 100%.
Do you feel like you have to be on all the time?
I used to. 28. So that's like 11 years ago. Well, going on 12 years ago. When I had my first therapy sessions, because to be a therapist, it's highly advised that you get therapy.
Absolutely.
So you know what it feels like to be on that other side. Because you're being fucking open with a stranger. That's unnerving, you know what I mean? And unnatural, truly. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're on a plane for some reason. I don't know why. But anyways, so when I was doing that, my therapist, her name was Abby, she said, you know, you don't have to be on for me all the time. I says, how would you know if I'm being on for you though? She says, are you being on? I says, what if I don't know the difference? She says, well, let's explore. 28, you know what I'm saying? So then after that made me very aware, self-awareness. So when am I being on? And what is being on? Right, because naturally bubbly, upbeat Wyann is who I am. That's not an act. That's when the cameras are off, when I'm home by myself, I dance to myself. I make jokes and make myself laugh. In my kitchen, to myself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I bring the world in. I might do a video for everybody, or I'll show them a joke that's in my head and they'll laugh too. But I keep me pretty occupied. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good thing. I think. I don't know. It's the same way. It's a good.
I have like this little corner spot in my room that I love, and I play 90s music.
Smart woman.
I love 90s R&B and hip hop. That's my era. But I'm 37.
Right.
And I grew up in the 90s. So I'm like, I love all like the 90s jams. So I always pick an old school song from the 90s, and I just groove to it. That's what makes me feel myself. I'm most comfortable in that space. And I embrace it.
As you should.
Embrace it,
As you should. It's yours. If you can't have that space, I journal every morning, and in my journal, this is a couple months ago now, so this is like recent. I'm still 39, so this was in this year. And I'm like, OMG, have I been hiding from me? Have I been putting on? Okay, so no, I'm not as okay as I feel. There were certain just aspects, just a couple, where I was like, oh, I didn't realize, like, you know, and all it takes is one thread to come like that, and then the whole garment can come loose, right? You know, so I was like, oh, I didn't even know I was kind of hiding from me right here. And so now let's do it. Let's get through that. You know what I'm saying? Have a difficult conversation if it's a difficult one. Yeah. Maybe it's just one that I've been putting off. Who knows? But it was one of those things that just had come up.
Yeah.
What was it? Maybe December? December or no, December. I'm looking at your baby. My dog passed away the day after I put out my album, and I'd had it for 11 years. So it was like right after that.
Tough. Probably feels like losing a child.
I couldn't hear music for the first time in 39 years.
Oh my God.
I wake up every day. You just said like you hear something. I wake up every day, hear a song, whatever it might be. Let's chill versus when you love someone, it's natural, not demand. It don't matter what it is. I don't give a fuck. I'll put it on. I go up. I start doing, and it would be the time me and my dog would dance. And we would dance in my kitchen, sort of a thing. So some days I would show people, and some days it was just me and her time to to go up, sort of a thing. But it's every day I've ever lived. I heard music until the day after she passed. So I was like,
there was a disconnect.
Oh my God, from life. I just put out an album, and niggas was like, you want to perform? I'm like, nigga, I don't know you. I don't know anybody. I don't care. It was like, whoop, boom.
No, I can't. Not right now.
I never felt some shit like that in my life. Terrence Martin loves animals, right? He loves animals more than some people. I won't say much, but some people, right? And so when he talked to me about it, he said, and he breeds dogs. He loves dogs, pit bulls especially. Okay. But he was like, yeah, nigga, I know what you're going. I'm like, I said, is this how they all are? He said, well, you think I started getting 2 and 3 at a time? Like if one go, I still got the others. He's like, he said, that shit is, he said,
it's serious.
It feels, man, it feels awful. It just feels awful. I don't even, it's like an emptiness sort of a thing. I only bring that up to say after that happened, October 2 of 2021, that's how I know it was like 2 months later, around that 2-month mark where I was like, okay, I still have some feelings and I'm avoiding talking about them, even right here in my journal that nobody else sees. I'm like, let's go. We can get through it. This is life. Unfortunately, the physical death is a part of the life cycle.
Yes, it is.
So let's deal.
Yes.
Let's deal. Let's grow.
Yes.
You know. So I'm saying that if you have a doggy at home, please love on your doggy, or a child, or anyone you love. Anybody. I don't care who it is.
I get it. My mom, Dog Lovers. If anybody from LA knows that Dog Lovers has been on Crenshaw forever.
Yeah.
My mom bought my first dog when I was 18 months old from Dog Lovers. His name was Bryson.
No fucking way.
From Dog Lovers, yes. From Dog Lovers, right on Crenshaw. And somebody took him from me when I was 12. So from 18 months old to 12, like literally, like we were on a...
They stole him.
We lived in like Rialto at the time, and we were driving to LA to visit grandma.
Got it.
And he was in the backyard, Bryson was in the backyard, and he's an older guy.
Got you.
Opened up the gate, had the audacity to open up the gate and took Bryson. So back then, it wasn't like a lot of there was no social media. It was literally having to ask around or post the flyers, which they still do now.
For sure.
And we finally got a call, and it was an old man. There was no caller ID. I don't think there was caller ID.
No, not at that time.
Yeah. He basically said, I'm an old man. I used to walk by your house every single day. I would feed your dog. I fell in love with him. I took him. I said, the fucking nerve. I'm like,
no way.
Yes. I never saw my dog again.
He just said I took him and he didn't bring him.
He said, I love your dog. He said, I feed your dog every single day. It's like it was the sickest shit ever.
It's like single white female.
It was the sickest shit ever. Like he would walk. It's like he knew our schedules or something. He knew I would never forget this because that's how traumatized. I'm 37. I still remember this like it was yesterday.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, we can roll.
Because he said on the phone, he was like, I'm an older guy. I have no family. I'm by myself. I feed your dog every single day. I walk past him and feed him and da-da-da-da-da. And we've never seen this, man. We're thinking like, how did we miss this? Like, how did we not even, nobody say anything? Like, how did we miss this? And he took him while we were gone. And I never saw Bryson again. And I was whooped. And I'm again from 12 to I've never had a dog until now, and I'm still trying to get used to it. I'm like,
oh baby,
and it's hard even still to like attach myself to him because there's like this weird space I'm in with animals.
I totally get it.
And Tori loves him to death.
Yeah, of course.
I'm working on loving him. Oh, don't get me wrong. When he licks me, I have a little soft spot. I'm like, oh, he licks me because he likes me,
of course.
and he's up here, and I'm like. And then he lays on my chest.
See,
I'm like, dog,
You
now
know
I'm like, you're
that.
trying me,
I
dog.
know,
I'm like,
I know.
I'm like, and he's small.
Yeah.
I'm like,
oh,
you're
she was a German Shepherd, so last time she tried to lay on me, I woke up because I had a dream that I was amputee because my feet had gone to sleep.
Oh, that's a
Because
crazy
my big
dream.
ass dog was laying on me because
Oh
she
my
thought she was
God.
still this big,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, Shoka, get up, So, but no, and I love being able to talk about it because I feel like she's still here when we get. I mean, her spirit is,
yes.
you know what I mean. But that's one of the beauties of being able to have that relationship with her, And all of my, I call my followers my loves and everything.
Yeah.
So all of my loves built their own relationship with her because when we would dance every day, if I did my lives, they would see her. They'd be like, hey, can you go get Shoka? We want to see Shoka.
Yeah.
So she built her own relationship with everyone. So when I tell you, wait, I ain't gonna tell you. This right here, the loves, shout out to all the love and love culture. They sent me this heart. It's a picture of her and me in here.
That's beautiful.
And so when I look into the sun or whatever, you can see me and her through this. I'm like,
oh wow.
They didn't play around. That was their dog too.
Wow.
Shoka was their dog too. It was the most beautiful thing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, we keep a love culture around.
I love that. And with all this personality you have your podcast, Raise It Up Why.
Yeah.
And you talk about so many different things. You have so many levels to it, Okay, you posted something recently, the Tupacs.
Yes.
I was like, I gotta go back and watch this shit. I need just a clip.
Yeah.
So that's one I need to go back and really fully watch because I really want to understand how you broke this down.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you broke it down. You said the P was for parenting.
Yes.
A is for adults.
Yep.
C was for children.
Yeah.
And then the 2 was for like bringing it together like two parents.
They debate when they communicate. 2 parenting styles of communication are debaters. 2 adult communicators, it's a conversation.
Yes.
It's the only place where conversation and listening takes place. And then the 2 C's is if children talk to other children, they argue. They argue. And then you can also have these, now that's just going straight across. But if you start to play with the lines and stuff like that, even if an adult who converses, who is level-headed, who's listening, if an adult is speaking to a child, they will either feel compelled to, 1, be emotionally brought down to start arguing back, or the power dynamics, what they say, like when you have that passive-aggressive type of energy, the over-emotionality of this communicator might make this person turn into the condescending debater of a parent. And it's just the dynamics can get thrown depending on who you're speaking with and what purpose it serves. And so I was giving that to people on that last episode. This was the last episode of 2021. It was the December episode. And I gave that to people because people were finding, okay, I'm with family. Why is it that when I get with family, I got to argue with everybody, or I feel like I'm getting pulled. I'm like, well, here's what's going on. You can see in this diagram where maybe you fit sort of a thing. But, sometimes when emotions are highly involved, you as a rational, listening individual get pulled into I was 12 years old when that happened. Why are you still? You know what I'm saying? You get turned into that version, or when
I know so well.
You already know. If the parent says, oh, I see, put on a few pounds. Well, it is customary if you would like a husband that you should probably, and it's like, okay, mother, well, and then you turn into condescending parent.
And I'm in defense mode now.
Because I'm in defense. Exactly right. I feel offended.
Now we're going here. It's going from 0 to 100.
To a Billy.
Because you triggered me.
Yes.
Triggered.
Yes.
That is the best
yes.
shit I've heard in a long time. I have got.
I'll send it to you. I'll make sure to get that part.
Send it to me so I can get right to it.
I'll send
seriously.
It directly to you. Yes.
Breaking that down makes so much sense.
Yeah. And it happens on social media all the time.
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't come on here for this. Why am I in a Twitter fingers argument with a stranger, Dak 314 from Dakota with 16 followers?
Yeah.
Why am I going back and forth with you? The answer is, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's how we get pulled sometimes into those spaces.
Yeah.
So just recognizing it, maybe sometimes when you're aware of it, you're like, I'm being a child. Just a second. Let me regroup for a second.
Yeah.
I am an adult. I don't do this, blah, blah, blah. So you can, choose to say, have a good day. I put up something for Dre's birthday. It just passed February 18th. And I said, happy birthday to Thanos himself. You know what I'm saying? Because the just passed, the Super Bowl.
Yep.
With how he brought all those artists together. Listen.
It wasn't long enough.
It was not.
We needed a whole, like, we needed a whole, I was going to say, we needed a whole fucking like 30 to an hour.
Hour?
We needed maybe like, a happy medium would have been 45.
I'll take that.
Because you gave me a snippet of Snoop and Dre.
Yep.
You gave me a snippet of Eminem.
Yep.
You gave me a snippet of 50. You gave me a snippet of Kendrick, who we ain't seen and God knows how long. And I was,
you just seeing him and just,
oh, he was locked in. I wanted so much more Kendrick. Like, he was locked the fuck in.
He was
like,
so locked in.
I wanted him to do King Kunta. I was like, hopefully he was gonna bust all that shit out because he did it. And then what was so dope, I don't know if people were paying attention, but he was standing on top of the city of the view, from our view of when we're flying over LA.
I'm so happy you got it.
So I was like, is that the city from my view when I'm on the plane?
Yes. When you
I'm like, who the fuck came up with this? Like, it was so fucking fire.
And it was so real for us.
I was like, okay, we gotta run this back.
Run it back.
I watched it so many times.
I just watched it last night before I went to bed.
Because there were so many details that I feel like I've missed. But that one, we caught me and my hunger were like, wait, that's the city.
That is the city,
That's how it looks at night.
That's how it looks at night.
It was so beautifully done.
Yes, they're so smart.
It was so beautiful. And I love a little clip of Snoop hitting the blunt a little bit on the I'm like, first of all, Snoop gonna be Snoop. Yeah, it was truly like on the side. But somebody caught him though. I'm like, his nerves are bad. Shit. How many people live in this fucking sofa?
The most viewed event, I want to say, of the year in the world. Yeah.
I would have probably peed on myself.
Listen.
Like, let's keep it a buck. I would have had to run. Like, there's no nerve.
Not I would have had to
I gotta go to the
run.
bathroom every 5 minutes, been holding it, trying to perform this shit. Like, all my nerves would have been popping off.
Going crazy.
And they've been doing this shit for 30 plus years,
Yes.
and I still can't imagine to that capacity. This is probably the biggest it's gonna get. It don't get bigger than Super Bowl.
No, it doesn't.
And they've sold out shit left and right. They've done big arenas, but
so that's not an accomplishment no more. They've done that.
But
They've
I know
been there, done
when
that.
I see him hitting the bun, I'm like, my nigga nerves is tapped. Like, I thought that was I love that. I'm like, this is Snoop, and
It's so
nobody
human.
said nothing. He didn't know I was tripping because y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is, so it's like let him pass.
Man, it's so honest too. It's just
It was
because it
funny.
means
It
he
was so
still
funny.
cares. He still cares about this moment. Sort of imagine he was so cool. Now I don't need none.
And it's crazy that it took this long for them to even do this type of performance at this level.
This is 100% accurate. 100%. I
We
think
ain't
this
never
was
had
the first.
no West Coast representation at all, period. Let's start there.
Period.
This was big because this is SoFi. This is the new stadium
Yep.
in LA. This is Inglewood.
Yes, sir.
And we got the biggest artists, the biggest. And let's just say worldwide, because Snoop to me is, people say who's the most famous, popular, it's Snoop.
It is.
There's nobody bigger than Snoop on a universal level.
Yes, ma'am.
He's universal.
Yes, ma'am.
There's nothing that he has not done.
No.
Cookbooks, gospel,
Get that shit, Snoopy.
these films, like
Yes.
the range, and Snoop, I feel like he ain't turned if it makes sense to him, he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
He's up for the challenge.
Yeah. I
Didn't he
think that's
what
why he wins.
wasn't it what was it? Not a Mexican album. What was something? What was it? What was it?
Yeah,
It was
somebody
something.
just told me
What
that
was
in
it?
the
Was it
live, a mariachi or something.
Some
He
shit.
got up with some mariachi, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm saying there's
He goes
nothing
up.
if the check is right and it makes
It
sense,
gotta be that.
I'ma
If
do
it
it.
don't make dollars, it
don't
don't
make
make
sense.
sense. Come on.
So listen.
Love that. No, I love that. That was, I'm telling you, last night, 11:55, I was literally watching it still.
Yeah, we needed more.
We needed more.
We needed more.
It was so,
and even if all of them went on tour or did something like big, I mean, who knows? But
I'm
that
ready
would be
though.
fire.
I'm ready. I think the world is ready. I think the
That would
world
be
is
so
ready. That would be
fire.
sick.
Oh my
Look,
god.
you about to make me make a call like, hey, what you guys think
You probably
about?
got some pull too. I believe you
What
got
you
some
guys
pull.
thinking about
I believe
doing?
you got some rank a little bit.
I would just like
At
to
least
know.
at least the spark an idea.
I want to know. I just want to know. See what they say. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But those boys, all of them, that whole performance, the houses, the Eve After Dark, Tams, you understand? The fact that on the
And
Still
they brought in a
Dre.
young lady who's buzzing on the LA scene. She goes by the name of Storm.
Okay.
She choreographed it.
Is that who choreographed?
Her name is Storm.
I never got the name. Awesome.
Storm.
Congratulations, boo.
Super young lady. She did the choreography
Outstanding.
with
Outstanding.
Fatima.
See, that's who I thought did it. I didn't know.
Fatima.
Okay, Storm and Fatima.
Storm and Fatima. I think they partnered up with it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Fatima brought in Storm or something. It's a connection between them
Very
two
smart.
somehow.
Very
And you know,
smart.
Fatima, Aaliyah. I mean, like everything from that era.
Good.
She touched.
God, yeah.
Missy. Like just,
All the way back to MJ.
Yeah.
You go
Let's go back
all the way
further.
back. Remember, I want to say remember the time.
Yes.
I want to say, don't quote me on that
you're
one.
right.
But okay, yeah.
I think it's Remember the Time.
Did that, and then one of the most to this day talked about Grammy performances, which was Kendrick's from 2015, and the "We Gonna Be All Right" when that whole big thing when they started in the jail and they went. She choreographed that. Outstanding woman. Outstanding. I want to move like you. I want my knees to be you. You're my spirit.
You know how much working I do? My knees still ain't.
Man.
I put
a little reel up, and I was coming up from being in like a little West Coast position, and I was coming up, and somebody go comment just yesterday like, man, those knees really had to go. I'm like, bro, don't bust me out first.
Don't bust me out.
And
don't
second of all, yes, I'm thankful they still work.
Yeah.
Okay.
They doing something.
These niggas could have gave out 5 years ago, and I would have been like, you know what, I understand.
Not calling them niggas.
Yeah. Oh, knock-kneed niggas. You understand? Like, we dealing.
Oh my God. I love it. When I was like just, scrolling, I was like, let me dig a little bit more into Y's business.
Yay.
I know you're in a relationship.
I am.
And I went onto your man's page and I was peeping I feel like he's rebranding.
Yes, he is.
I peeped that. Mr. Wilkins, right?
Yes,
Brother
sir.
Wilkins.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
Brother Wilkins.
TJ Wilkins.
TJ Wilkins.
Yes.
Good looking brother, by the
He's
way.
such a
I
cutie.
love black love. I want to ask you this, because this is something I'm trying to figure out myself as I'm on my journey of love. I'm healing.
Yeah.
I'm backing away from a lot of stuff, and I'm
Understood.
just spending a lot of alone time.
Understood.
And I feel like I found myself. I don't want to say find myself, but I'm trying to find my place when it comes to love, because I feel like I can be a little bitter sometimes.
Okay, understood. That's honest.
I'm like a bitter bitch.
That is honest, boo. That is
I'm
honest.
a bitter bitch,
That's
and I'm
okay.
pissed.
Okay.
Just like
These
like
are the
these
real
niggas.
conversations. No, these are the real
And
conversations.
I don't want to be that way towards no
Understood.
man, with no man, or being like that in a relationship, because I need to heal.
Understood.
You
That is
know?
a very, very smart. You're more self-aware than a lot of folks I'll just say it like that.
So that's the problem I'm having. And and when I love so fast and easily, because when it feels right, I'm thinking like this is a sign from Jesus. But it can't be like that with every man. I'm like, God, is he the one and shit? And he don't be the one. She said like it shoots and ladders, like hold. Because I fall in love so easily, and I don't know what that is. Yeah, I've been having this shit, but like I'm like, bro. First 2 weeks we on the phone, I'm like, oh, he might be my husband. Like, imagine my ring. I'm like, okay, let's pick a house and shit. Like, you want kids? Okay, so do I. When do we start? So but that's just I'm like, I need to remove but should I though? Because that's who I am. I'm naturally I'm a nurturer. I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. I don't argue. I don't want to argue. I'm gonna love up on you all day. Yeah. That's who I am. So I was peeping you guys' dynamic from what you showed us, and I'm like, okay, for one, they're in the same field.
Yes, that's not new. Excuse me. That is not normal for me. That is new.
It's new.
That is newer in my dating history, like of all the guys I've ever dated, the last 3 have been in the music industry. And I thought after the one that I had just had that I never wanted the experience again. Just because while you think it would be easier because they understand, some dudes out of the industry don't understand, like, wait, you're in the studio till 4 a.m.? Yeah, right. I'm like,
I'll be in there with a bunch of guys.
nigga, the studio session started at 11:45.
Exactly.
PM.
Going to like 7 or 8 the next morning. And we have an 8-hour session or 10-hour session. But
I would leave the studio, leaving Dre, and when we were working on the show, The Pharmacy, to beat morning traffic. Because I still lived in LA and I was still teaching at the college. So I was an edutainer for real.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, so I got grading this week. I got this, I got that. So I'm going to be in here. I'll stay here from basically 12 a.m. to about 4 or 5 a.m. But if I don't leave at 5, the 101 to the 110, like that's a horrible, you know what I mean? I won't get any sleep. So there were days where I would just pack it up, like make sure I took a whole bath before I left Record One and get over to Pasadena City College, and I would fall asleep in the driveway, the parking lot. I would go to sleep there, just like, look, I took a shower at 10 p.m. I'm still fresh. I might smell like Snoop's weed, but I'm still fresh. Let me just sleep for a second. You know what I'm saying? Let me just get a little bit.
It might be a little stale.
Man,
but
my students will get high off my hair if I'm keeping it a bean. I'm not even lying. That's a true story, by the way. But no, it's because it's what you do for love, whether it be the love of your craft, whether it be the love of your life, whether it be your love like your baby. You know what I mean? You do what you have to do for love, sort of a thing. And I love education. I gotta say, as much as I love entertainment, I've given more time to education though. So in my current days, I'm giving more of my time to the entertainment side. Just because I'm about to be 40, I want to see what some other side of life is. I know I got that, you know what I mean? I know I'm smart. Okay, I get it, boom. But I want to see what this side does if I open myself up completely. What happens over here? So going back to TJ and the style of love, even displaying my love on my social media, or my podcast, it's very new. Frightening as fuck. Because in the end, you got to think, like I said, the last 3 have been in the music industry. I don't care that everybody knows who I'm dating in this industry. I want all the guys to know that I have someone though, so no one tries it.
Exactly.
When I go to the studio, I'm here about my queen. It's about the money. And that is all that it is. Hey, which one you want me to do, baby? Which
right
one?
Here.
No. If you want longevity in this career, my secret weapon, see these thick knees that don't know how to cross? I keep them right here. In this industry, every major player that you want respect from as a lady, this has been again, I'm about to be 40 though. I'm growner. I didn't grow up with Cardi or Meg as my images for what a black woman in hip hop looks like. My shit comes from Yo-Yo, Rage. Little Kim came after, but Light and Queen and Moni had already left their imprints on me. And once Lauren came, I had my identity for what I thought I was in hip hop. A little bit of Yo-Yo with Lauryn Hill. That is Wyann Vaughn in hip hop. And so when I gravitate towards my homegirls today, like Il Camille, like Rhapsody.
We were just talking about Il Camille in the last episode.
Il Camille is, nigga. I had her, we had her rather on the Pharmacy.
I fucking love Il Camille.
And she did some freestyles. Illy, if you're watching, you remember this day. I have videos, so don't play coy. She made niggas go back and rewrite. She got on the mic like, all right, let me see.
Well, I mean, her pen is immaculate. So.
Her pen, her delivery, when she come off, it's like, I was looking at the other dudes like, and they was being, I don't even know if she knows. I'm an overprotector of all my friends in this industry, whether they're guys, girls, older than me or younger than me, I don't care. When I heard some of the things that some of the other folks in that same room were saying, none of the OGs, none of like the people that were on the show, but some guests, just a little that energy, whatever they were saying, who knows what they were saying. That energy though, like, and I was like, oh, y'all don't know who the fuck Il Camille is. Okay, this is cute. Let me watch. She got up. All right, 1, 2. Y'all ready?
And she's a professional. Professional.
She is an amazing. I
love Il Camille.
Got a lot.
That's my sis.
She's insanely awesome. She's dope. She opened doors for me during times when I wasn't working, let's say with Terrace or something like that. She would have me singing background for her, going on stage with her. We opened up for Anderson when he was Breezy Lovejoy. Like we did a few things. She shut down some stuff in downtown LA and brought out as her special guest, Battle Cat and Corrupt.
That's crazy.
I was like,
that's crazy.
Are you guys hearing her now?
Right.
Will you hear her
and
now?
I still feel like they sleeping on her a little bit. Like, I still feel like it's as crazy as it sounds, I feel like they have not fully like embraced her, which is so fucked up. Because I'm like, what's the problem? I'm like, what do y'all want her to do? She ain't dropping the panties down. She ain't twerking. Like,
she's too fly for that. She's too fly for that.
I just don't. I'm like, I feel like she's displayed everything you're supposed to display as an MC.
You know what I think
she's doing her job, and she's done her job.
I haven't even talked to her about this, but you know what I think she's doing? I think she's setting up her pieces to where she is already the boss of everything that she does. She's not looking for nobody handouts, first of all. She's not going out and seeing, can someone put me in position? She's creating the plays. And she's just being true to her brand and herself.
I
and
agree. That's a great way to put it.
And I'm just saying, when I hear certain people get quiet, I'd be like Kendrick, when he pops out again, it's gonna be
we get it.
I feel the same way about Illy. And I didn't hear from Illy for a minute, and then when I went to go see one of her newest shows, this was some years ago, but she was like, and we won't be here because we about to tour all of Europe.
Right.
Well, that's a fucking move. Well, what the hell? Right. She toured all of Europe and some parts of Africa, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that's Illy to me.
Her and
like,
Damani.
What? Damani and Cozy killing. Dirty Harry.
The dynamic between them two.
That's a dirty Harry.
There's so many different entities to her. And then let's not even talk about what she's doing in the community.
Man.
She's running this festival shit.
Run it.
Juneteenth.
Run it.
Juneteenth. She spearheaded that.
She's the winner.
She spearheaded that.
She's just a winner.
She brought me into the circle. I'm so blessed for that because so many opportunities came from that, from working with Juneteenth and working in the committee.
Yes.
And she's like, I got a job. She's like, I got a job for you. I know you know, I'm like, I'm willing to work as much as I feel like I've already done. I'm like, there's still more to do.
Yeah,
I'm a student of the game first.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna always be a student of the game. So we're giving you your flowers, sis. We love you over here.
So much.
We love you over here.
Forever.
This was such a fulfilling conversation.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, we're going to do a part 2.
Yeah.
Because we got so much more to talk about.
Yeah. For sure.
But with the music background,
Yeah.
Are you dropping any, did we get an album?
We got an album back in October 1, 2021, my debut album. It was going to be my second EP, but once I got every member of my family on it, I said, if I want to debut, I want to debut with my people.
Oh, I love that.
And so I got Mom and them on there, The Emotions. My dad is on there.
So I have so much to do. I have to listen to the last episode. I need to go back and listen to the album.
Ooh,
I'm going to take it all in.
This current episode, that's what I was going to tell you. Because you brought up TJ.
Yeah.
So in this current episode, we do a kind of like post-Valentine's Day, going over a lot of what we learned in all of the time that we've been rocking. We 5.5 years in, on this right here. That's what I'm saying.
That's a long time.
And just popping out and showing people like, that part is new. But all of what it took to get here, I'm gonna be exposing more like love talks on my Patreon. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it there. But on the podcast, we have, we both got to talk about where the ego interferes with love. And so we talked about that on this current episode of the podcast, 41. And it's called Let's Talk About Sex.
I dealt with that personally, so I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, and it was an honest talk
for me.
Yeah, it was, and it is challenging. And I said that. It is challenging. You're a boss. You do all of this. So be doggone if you're about to be the same one that gets told to sit down and be quiet and and you're like, nigga, who you think you know what I'm saying? Like, there is a piece of that happens. So learning how to work with that feminine and masculine polarity.
I've been told I have masculine energy, so I'm still trying to figure out how to take that in.
That's like I call it a boss.
I was told that.
Yeah, it's like
that
a boss
I have masculine energy.
Yeah.
So I had to look that. I know what it means. I had to really look that shit up and break this down. Yeah. But that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, no. And it's not, and as much as, now if someone was saying it to offend you or hurt you, then they can suck a dick. Right. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
You're fine.
But, sorry about that. Because I'm letting that be known because if it was said in a way to hurt you or belittle you, then that was said from a man with feminine energy. Nigga.
You see? Moment of silence.
For him and his ego. Hello. But if you are told that by an individual who sees that as like, nigga, I could get money with you, that's no longer a diss, is it? If somebody says, hey, you have masculine energy, like, you say something, you stick to it, you follow through, you're logical in what you plot out when you plan, Because the idea of feminine energy, and beautiful feminine energy, by the way, is to be led with or really make decisions with our emotions. Well, guess what we know about our emotions? They have a fugacious nature. So sometimes they're here and they can be over here. It's not bad, it's creative energy. It's why certain singers are always gonna be dope in the moment. You wanna go see them live because you never know what they're gonna do, because they move where the energy plots them. You know what I'm saying? They don't just come in and say, hey, I said I was gonna do these things, so I'm gonna do these things. Did those things, have a good night. You're like, oh, I didn't know this was a business performance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to see a performer be free.
Yep.
That's the genesis of feminine energy. It's creation. It's creative energy. It's not a bad thing at all. The genesis, or I want to say the nucleus, let's say, of masculinized energy is that there's logic. There's the ability to maybe use and utilize the left brain, where the right brain, the artistic side, is more women. That's more feminine. But on the left side, if you told me, okay, here we have this coming, we're probably gonna talk about these topics. We're gonna make sure, okay, now this date is gonna be out and da-da-da-da. You're portraying what I would call boss, but what someone else could define as, or describe rather, as masculinized energy. There's no knock there. That's why I said if someone said it with the intent
of hurting
to knock you, then that says more about them than the words themselves. You see what I'm saying? So no. There is no knock to being to having a masculinized energy. It's what it is. Imagine someone said, "Oh, you an introvert." Oh, I see. Oh yeah, you got that introvert energy. It's like, bro, I get my energy when I'm alone.
Exactly.
That's the definition of being an
introvert. Right.
Is there? I'm sorry. It sounds like you're trying to knock me.
Right.
Speak and say it with your chest. I'm from the West. say it's not a diss if you didn't put my name in it.
Right.
Say it with your chest, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, seriously.
So if somebody is saying, somebody can tell you they love you with the energy of I'm trying to diss you. You know what I'm saying? It's always really important not just to listen to what people are saying, but it's so fun. I have a good friend. I won't say his name, but I think he'll know who he is if he watches this. And he's big on asking why behind something. So if someone does tell you, you know, hey, you kind of rough around the edges, what makes you say that? As opposed to saying, what that mean? Rough around the edges? What? Like, instead of taking offense, why would you say that?
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, well, another one throw people off. Hey, you got a man? Why?
Why do you ask?
Yeah. Well, I just because I'm saying I was just trying to. Why? For what? Oh, you think you could be him? That's funny.
I'm gonna use that. I like that.
Why?
I'm gonna use that.
What you want? Which one on that for?
Using that. I'm gonna do a test run on that.
It's interesting
because see what I get from it.
Because unfortunately, gentlemen, let me say, and lots of folks just be talking, girl. They don't think. A lot of us don't think, and I'm gonna say us. I'll put the ladies in it too, gentlemen, not to attempt to villainize or vilify rather you guys. However, we just be sometimes stuck in our own loop. We don't always go out and be around new people, so sometimes we're stuck in our own head. So when we say stuff, we know what we mean. But when you go out to the real world, people be like, "Huh? What does that mean? Why'd you say that?" It's like, oh, because well, I thought it was funny. Why would you think it was funny? I'm just saying. And I told on my podcast, everything I'm doing this year is about fine-tuning our vibration. I stand for three things. When I say raise it up, we raise your self-awareness, your vibration, and your capacity for love. So we've already worked on self-worth. We've worked on self-awareness. This year is all about your vibration. So when I say we fine-tune, it's going in, and if we think we know why we do something, it's like, but do you?
Yeah.
Let's check that.
Yeah.
Oh, you only do that when you feel nervous, or you only do that when you think someone is attempting to attack you. Why do you always think someone's attacking you? Let's fine tune this. Let's really be who we think we are if we're gonna do it this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just dare to see what happens if we're actually who we say we are when no one's looking. Let's just see what that looks like. It's fun. Sorry, I know I'm talking.
Okay, so I've decided I'm gonna hire her as my therapist and see if she takes my insurance. Once this shit is off, I'm about to get my ducats in order now because I need this. I mean, I really do. So let me call my insurance company tomorrow, see if I can lock her in. because that was just like, I'm just taking it all in.
This is good. This is good.
I needed this today. This is what I needed today.
I'm very happy.
I'm taking it up.
Very happy.
There's so much I have to like. I feel like I need to write some shit. Like I don't want to forget.
But all of this is on this episode.
Documented it.
I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna send you this episode. You'll be happy because I do this on purpose so people can go back, rehear.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, so you said. So when we say let's talk about sex, this new episode that's coming up is let's talk about sex.
Can't wait.
How we identify and learn to identify who we are, starting at the genesis of what we all say that we ain't just here for, but we all start relationships with half the time.
Yeah.
We start with sex. So let's do it from the genesis. Why do people lose their virginity? Why do guys generally lose it? Why do girls generally lose it? And what does that mean for the implication of the rest of your relationships? That's what we go through on this episode. You're gonna fucking love it. I promise you. I promise you, you're gonna love it. And you can watch it, you know what I'm saying? Like you can watch it at home so you know.
I'm be like this. Locking the knees tight, okay? They are locked. You see these little bony knees? They are sealed. Ain't nothing getting up in here. And on that note, oh my God, it was a pleasure.
I love you, girl.
I love you, and thank you for sitting me with this. It was great.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Where can we find you? Drop all your Googles are up, so y'all can find her on Google.
Yeah,
Drop all your social handles, please.
I would love to tell you all to make sure that you follow at Raise It Up Y, RAISEITUPWY. You'll always see a rocket going up. And my other socials is Wyanna, but Raise It Up Y is consistent across all social media platforms.
I noticed that.
It's easier. And my website is just wyannvaughn.com, WYANNVAUGHN.com. It's not regular. Thanks, Wayne Vaughn, aka my daddy. Thank you, Daddy. I love you.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. I needed this energy from you. Yes. The vibrations and the vibes were so right. Everything was on point. Yes. And we are out. We are out. Till next time.